No, 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 no. No, no, it's not. No, we're not going around for another loop on that. Yeah, let's get this started. Let's dive in here. Hey, there we go, friends. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever time it might be in your part of the world.
Greetings, my excellent friend.
It's so good to see you. My name is Jeff Fritz, and today is January 16th, 2025. We're gonna write a little bit of code today. How you doing there, chat room? My screen. The dog ran through the home office here and excuse me, move things around a little bit. Let me say hello to folks in the chat room. We're broadcasting live on Twitch and YouTube. You can see folks chatting right over here. Let me say hello to Null Sheffo with the big waves. Fat Ghost, good afternoon to you. Surly Dev, how's it going there? My hat stand prompted with the hat command there. I see why that I didn't get the notification there. The overlays weren't being shown on that opening countdown. But yes, I'm wearing a Flyers hat here today. It's a trucker hat. Kind of fun. Doing well, C Sharp Titan. Great to see you. Exactly the person that you were looking for. What did I do, Mythin? I saw there were some questions over on Discord. I kept up with some of them yesterday while I was traveling. We can touch on some of those in a little Q&A segment to get things started here. Hey there, Reg. Great to see you. Another day for next one stream? I think so. Billy Cool with a big wave. Hello, Billy. Sir Timmy, hello to you. Mohammed, welcome. And let me come back to your question in just a second. Happy Thursday to Weird Beard Dev. He can do hat, but he can't do glasses. No, we don't have glasses. I'm wearing my Razor Torpedo Gunners today. These are prescription pair of glasses, giving my eyes a little bit of a break from wearing contacts for a few days. Let me back up to Mohammed's question here. Let me start with this. If I was starting today, what would be the roadmap for someone who has no time to waste? That's a very wide question you're asking there. It's a very broad topic. What career are you looking for? What are you trying to do? What do you want to engage and build over the next 5-10 years? Right? When you start thinking about putting together, here's what I want to do with software, here's what I want to do with my career, where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years? And that's hard to say, that's hard to discuss, because folks that dive into this, quite frankly, things are going to change dramatically over the next 5 to 10 years. Nobody could have told you in 2022 that, hey, you know what? Everything is going to pivot and be very AI focused in 2024 and 2025. Folks wouldn't be able to tell you that. In 2000, nobody would have had the foresight to say, you know what, everything's going to go mobile in about 2005. And from 2005 to 2015, there's going to be a land rush on mobile development, and it's going to be Google that folks are building apps for, and Apple. And nobody's going to be talking about building apps for Microsoft. Are you crazy? And it's not web applications, they're native applications. What? It's hard to forecast. So you kind of need a North Star. Where do you want to go? And you can start to evaluate at that point, what are the things that I want to dial in? Do you want to do game development? Do you want to do web development? Do you just want to dip your toe in, get a broad taste of what's going on in tech, and be able to flex and say, you know what, I'm going to spend a little bit of time doing game development, but I know enough about networking that I can pivot and go over and do things in cloud development. There's different approaches there that you might do in order to be very aggressive and be very valuable in an area of technology. But also there's ways you might go in order to have more security and more flexibility, so that if this thing doesn't take off, you've still got those other things that you can pivot and continue with. So it's a very broad question, and I think folks fall into a little bit of a trap when they see these milestone flowcharts that not milestone. I'm sorry, these technology learning flowcharts that folks publish. Oh, if you want to be a .NET developer, here's the things that you need to learn in this order. No, not everybody is the same. Not everybody's career is the same. Not everybody is going to go and learn .NET and have a broad base and prioritize doing Windows Forms first. Maybe .NET MAUI makes sense. Maybe doing Azure development makes sense. So those types of documents, those types of forms that you see, and there are folks that have built AI generated versions of those and recommendations that, quite frankly, are going to mislead folks. And when it comes to growing and mentoring a career, don't rely on AI for that. Talk to folks who have been there. Talk to folks who are in that space, and they can help you out and get you comfortable with something that'll be right for you. Let me get some music playing in the background here. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. I'm going to go to the Stream Beats Synthwave playlist because I just want something groovy in the background here while we write some code and have a good time. Let's start a little bit further down here. Let's start somewhere. No, a little bit further. Let's start here. This is called FiberNet Speed. It'll pop up right here. Right there. There it is. This is music that's DMCA free, royalty free. Listen to it wherever you'd like, whether it's Twitch, YouTube, doesn't matter. It's all free for you to use. Big thanks to Harris Heller and his team of creators for this music we're listening to today. C# Titan deployed their first static web Blazor application to Azure, created a custom domain using the free tier. Nice. Took about 30 minutes, but so happy with the result. There you go. Is Blazing Pizza a static web app? It is not. And I have significant updates that I need to merge for Blazing Pizza. It is not a static web app. Blazing Pizza purposefully has a rich server-side component so that it can be a good platform to learn server, WebAssembly, some static rendering, and provide a bit of that. You want to build the death of AI? Well, that's not happening. And I'm curiously waiting for that question, some questions around AI to come up. Ice Cream Stick had a question on Discord in the Ask Jeff Anything forum there, and about system threading timer. System threading timer, when you're using a timer to periodically run something, the callback method does need to be reentrant because it's going to run regularly. So it needs to be able to run on multiple different threads. That's what's going on there. You can't, like, if you want to prevent it from triggering while other instances are running, you're going to need some sort of a static lock, a reader-writer lock, something that triggers right at the beginning. Hey, is something working on this? Yes, something's already working on this. Then release. Don't run this second copy. And I would use something like that to prevent. And then the second question we have here is from our friend Mythin. I see a follow-up here from Mohammed, so I'll continue with Mythin there in just a second. You're interested in .NET areas and maybe cloud. Well, okay. So .NET is, and this is something that's kind of tricky that nobody else really does. .NET isn't just a language or a framework. It's a framework that works. That works. Hang on, let me see if I can do this right. Yeah, this over here, and this is so annoying how much I have to go through to make this happen. right? .NET isn't just a framework. It's a framework that runs everywhere. See, the effect didn't work. What? Are you kidding? I even turned it on and it didn't echo. No echo. You make me sad. You were supposed to echo there. See? Echo. Nothing. I think you're broken. Like, no. That's so annoying. Anyways, so .NET works in many, many different places. So it's great to get a foundation of various .NET tools. That's like saying, I want to learn Java. Well, that's great. Java works in many different places. So you can learn a base foundation of Java, but when you say learn .NET, .NET has 3 primary languages that go with it. The focus being C#, Visual Basic being the second, and F# being a third. So when you start looking at .NET, now you got to pick a language, and overwhelmingly, C# is the most popular of those languages. Then you need to start looking at, okay, not just learning the language, but then you start learning some of the constructs of the language, and then you want to work with LINQ, L-I-N-Q. You want to work with various other items in the base class library so that you learn how to work with the network and disk. And then you want to learn how to work with entity framework so you can connect to a database using the object relational mapper. You don't need to use entity framework. There are other tools to connect to database, but entity framework simplifies a lot of things. And then where do you want to go from there? Do you want to build native applications for Windows? Windows Forms and WPF as a user interface framework. 2 user interface frameworks you could choose. Do you want to build mobile applications and have the flexibility to port those applications to native on Windows and Mac? Then .NET MAUI might make sense. Or something like the Uno platform that works on building and deploying to the web Windows, Mac, Linux, iOS, and Android. Many, many choices that come together here. And of course, web development with ASP.NET and Blazor, like we're going to do here on stream today. So it's good to have those choices. If you want to get started with .NET, I recommend taking a look at C#, getting started with some of the topics and projects around there to get your feet wet. There's a series of notebooks that you can run, interactive notebooks that you can run with Visual Studio Code, or you can run online that you can download and take a look at. I have a series of them that are available on my GitHub, or you can go to a website that I built called csharpinthecards.com. And that'll get you started with C#. And then you need to pivot and start learning some of those other things. C# you could probably learn in a couple days. You won't be a master of it, but you'll learn enough that you can write some effective code. And then you move on to other topics. So, the cloud will come later. Get the foundation of the language first. Abby Knight, hello. Good to see you. C# Titan has a question about static web apps being deployed to Azure. Are there things we should or need to be aware of and not be including? You're handing off all of your security interactions to the static web app function. So you need to be aware of that. And you're enforcing all of those interactions in your functions. Those are the big things in my mind to be aware of, is where that authorization takes place. Setting up caching, setting up caching for the responses from your functions is not trivial to do. You want those functions to return quickly, and getting that set up and so that it responds quickly, so that you're not hammering your functions to load and do the same task again and again and again. But to cache that is a little bit interesting to set up, and you're going to want to do that as your site grows. But security, the caching, the resiliency, the managing the headers of your functions, managing the headers if you use Azure Storage, so that folks are taking advantage of the cache and the features of the browser and not getting fresh content and requesting again and again and again. You want to minimize those network calls. Speaking of Azure, I'm going to go back to this question from Mithin on the Ask Jeff Anything forum on our Discord server. It came in yesterday. I didn't have a chance to answer it, and I'll answer it here. Mithin asks, thank you for the follow. Mithin asks, I watched your videos on the breakdown of the Aspirify.net website. That's a website that we built live on this channel that uses .NET Aspire. It uses Blazor to deliver all of that news website for Aspirify. And I've discovered there's an AI now that's crawling it and presenting the content without any of my it's literally ripping out all of my design. It looks awful, and quite frankly, I'm not happy about it. And I'm probably going to set up a bot to block it. Yeah. It's an AI that just trashes it. So Mithin asks, what made me choose the Azure Postgres service over Azure SQL Server, the Microsoft SQL Server? Is it a convenience, or so that I don't have to generate multiple migration sets, or is it something else? The reason I chose Postgres for Aspirify.net instead of SQL Server, it quite simply is it's significantly cheaper, and I don't need that much database interaction for it. The content that's being delivered for Aspirify.net is sitting in Azure Tables, actually, in Azure Table Storage, because I heavily cache it, because the content does not change. So with a heavy reliance on caching, driving down the number of times that I need to interact with the database, I only use Postgres to manage logins and some of the data that I'm persisting for statistical analysis. So I don't need the big, heavy enterprise-grade SQL Server. This also means I can run Postgres in a much smaller instance locally when I'm building and developing. Having that portability and a very small, quick responding database that doesn't need to be that sophisticated. I don't need the full enterprise grade SQL Server. That's okay. It's the right size for this project. That said, if I need to upgrade in the future, I can certainly swap out the entity framework provider I'm using for Postgres and migrate things to SQL Server, and it won't change. It won't change the user interface and the interactions that we've built for Aspirify. It'll be a transparent migration. So it's strictly a convenience thing. What that also enables me to do is I can give presentations about Aspirify.net, and I don't need to have the big SQL Server containers and configuration and the start and stop of that. Postgres starts very quickly inside of a container. And it's convenient and easy then for me to take a snapshot of Aspirify.net on the road and give demonstrations to different user groups and conferences and whatnot. So let me go to this question on YouTube. Thank you, Mithin, for the question over there on the Discord server. There's a question on YouTube from Stallone. Just deployed my .NET and Angular full stack app to Azure App Service, but costs keep rising even with low traffic and just CRUD operations. Any tips to optimize and reduce costs? Look at your cache headers. Set up output caching. Your content that you're delivering, you can set the application to not be always on. You can turn off always on so that it's not constantly running. You can control how many replicas are running, and if you have a small website, You don't need the standard one running instance. You can run with a basic one that'll top out, if you do have it running full-time for the full month, at about $40 American. But if it's a small website that not a lot of folks are using, turn off the always on. It'll take a few extra seconds to start up when somebody comes back and tries it the first time. But if it's a small website that you're growing, go to basic one. You don't need standard one. It is going to get expensive. So the Microsoft Learn documentation is really awesome, says C# Titan. You've been using and referring to it regularly. That's great. Ocular Malice, hey, how you doing there? Posted SVG and PNG versions of the files for the plugin on the GitHub issue. Fantastic. I was going to come back around and talk about that in a little bit here. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's great. Yeah, let's talk about that in a little bit here. Fantastic. Thank you. C# Titan says they contacted Azure support as I couldn't sign up. I need to confirm mobile number, and they sent a code to your phone. Turns out the cause of the issue was Safari on Mac. Oh, that's frustrating. Yeah, the AI is mangling. It's interesting. It's the AI folks are crawling the Aspirify.net website, mangling it, and trying to deliver it to people. Why didn't you just go to it? Like, it looks nice, and all the content is right there. So, and they ignore robots text. You're right, Fuel Snable. So what I may end up doing is looking at the header and force blocking it. Like, throw a forbidden access when that bot comes through. So, you heard from a friend today that the company they are working at not updating their solution to .NET 9. Their excuse is they don't need the features in C# 13. They're on .NET 7. .NET 7 went out of support. .NET 7 is no longer supported. Like, that's fine, you don't want to go to .NET 9, but your reasons for not going to .NET 9 are worse than your reasons for staying on .NET 7. Your reasons for staying on .NET 7 are worse than your reasons for not going to .NET 9. Go to .NET 8. Like, this isn't a discussion. Go to .NET 8. You are no longer under support. .NET 7 was released in November of 2022. Support for that ended in May of 2024. You are not getting security patches. You're welcome to stay on it. There is nothing wrong with it, but you are not getting security patches. If you go to .NET 8, you've got support through November of 2026. You've got another 2 years of support. That's fantastic. But it is not supported. So, you're welcome to stay on .NET 7. Nothing is telling you that you are not allowed to. But if your reason for not using the current version is because the features it supports you don't need, well, you're on an unsupported version. Go! Get moving! Why block the bot when you can feed it fake data for the lulz? Because I don't want it to represent something and folks get a bad idea about my website. Like, that would be fun to do. No doubt it would be fun to do. But I don't want to misrepresent, you know? If I create that block for AI bots through some middleware, can we get a new NuGet package? Maybe. Doesn't matter if they don't need C# 12 features. You need support. You're working for a company and you're building a product that folks are using. You need security support. It's free. And you're going to be supported for another, 23 months? Do it. Do it. Doesn't matter if you don't need C# 12. You don't need the new features in Blazor. You don't need... You're going to get significant performance improvements. Significant. Which may drive down the cost of running your application because you're not using as much processor, not using as much memory, and you're going to get security patches. If you don't need security patches, it's an entirely internal application. That's up to you. You're more than welcome to do that. Nobody is telling you that you can't. But if you come back to Microsoft and say, hey, this is broken, yeah, it's not something we support any longer. So, but if we were to create a block through middleware, could we create a NuGet package? I think that's a discussion to have. Right? Let's see. I'm going to look at my Google Analytics here off screen and see if... There it is. I can literally see them on the analytics. Hey, welcome. There we go. Look at that. Hit the hat.
Subscribed for 28 months.
Give it a second there. Can I see in Google Analytics? That's the browser. Can I see? No, I don't think they hit the analytics because they probably didn't execute the JavaScript. They probably crawled it. So we don't have it in Google Analytics. You tried building a browser extension using Blazor, and it was a great experience working with the Blazor framework for browser extensions. Framework for browser extensions? I'm not familiar. Can you share a link to that framework you're referring to? Replace all links to the articles with my website, or add some text at the start of each article saying this is stolen and have a link. Yes, I'm on board with that, Billy. I'm on board with that. I can get on board with. You're reading stolen content. Yeah, I can absolutely do that. Mr. Connor, that is a fantastic discussion to have. We can get into that. Thank you for the support there, Blakai. Blessai? Yeah. Use Edge. Yeah, right. How you doing, Gilgamesh? So let me pivot for a second to where did it go? I think it just rolled off the top there. Yeah. Mr. Connor asking thoughts on Fluent Assertions news. Was not asked previously. Happy to talk about that. So, the folks who run Fluent Assertions, let me see if I can find a post about it real quick. They've changed. I'm trying to find somebody who, yeah, there it is. On their website. The new version of Fluent Assertions 8, is a paid version. And folks are not happy. Folks are really not happy. And I get that. I do. I'm trying to find somewhere where they have a blog post or something about it. Now an Exceed partner. Yeah, there it is. So Exceed is a company that builds various components, various software tools, and they've partnered. I see a bunch of. I don't actually see the. Yeah, here we go. This is the press release from Exceed. Right. Exceed software partners with Fluent Assertions to elevate developer tools and community support. And the gist of it now is they're They're going to continue community engagement and have some premium offerings, so on and so forth. And they're going to continue to honor free licenses for open source non-commercial products. However, if you're building a commercial product and using the Fluent Assertions library, it's $130 per developer. Right, look at this business suite. I don't see just Fluent Assertions here. Unit testing. There it is. There you go. $130 American per developer. Fluent Assertions is a library that helps you write tests in a cleaner, simpler dialogue. Okay? Something that reads a little bit more like typical English. It's it's a convenient thing. The value that it adds is that it makes your code more readable for other humans. That's nice. That's something that you should be doing anyway. And a library like this does make it easier to write some of those assertions. There are other competing libraries in this space. Shouldly is a similar library that provides similar features. When folks make an unannounced change to their open source project and make it paid, such that if you blindly do the upgrade to the next version, you're in violation of their license, that's hard for people to accept and be generous and consider supporting. We saw this with Mock, MOQ. It's something that the community is not going to take nicely to. To just take, hey, that current version that you're using, well, you can't use the next version that does all the same things because I'm going to start charging for it. That makes the community angry. That's not a good decision. The challenge is that open source developers are folks who build very, very useful libraries like Fluent Assertions, right? What do we got here? What's it look like when I head over here? Well, thanks. Thanks so much. Folks that are building libraries like this, it is a very thankless process. You're spending a lot of your time building and working and delivering this. Some folks are spending years building and working on these products. This has 451 million downloads. Okay. It's been around. Where's the list of versions? Here we go. It's literally, Dennis has been working on this for literally 15 years. Okay. 15 years he's been delivering this library for free. And hundreds of millions of projects use it. And he hasn't gotten a dime. Okay. And when we look over on the source repository, there's contributors, but he doesn't have any sponsors. He hasn't gotten a dime. As an open source developer, building and toiling on your project that you enjoy, that you love working on, this is the dream. This is the dream. That you've been working on a project that so many people like and use, and now you're going to get paid for it. And you're going to be able to step back from your day job because the project that you work on and you love, you're now going to get paid for. So I get wanting to do this. I totally get it. I totally understand it. It's absolutely the dream for your hobby project to be something that you're going to get paid for, and you're going to sign a contract and folks are going to give you money to do what you've been doing in your spare time. That's like, if somebody started paying, told you, hey, I'll pay you $1,000 a month that you mow your own lawn and take care of your garden, but at the end of the season, I want the carrots from your garden. I want the cabbage that you grow in your garden. If somebody told you, I'll pay $1,000 a month to do that, but you have to give me the carrots at the end of the season. Okay, I'm going to make $6,000-$7,000 over the course of spring and summer, and I give up a couple of carrots that I bought seeds for $5. Sure, I don't mind that. It's already my hobby to take care of my garden and my lawn. Absolutely. It's something that is very gratifying. I get it. The way to do this is to deliver premium features, fork the code, and deliver premium features. Drawing a line, what's the image library that I use that's free for open source projects, or nonprofits? Right, I use it in aspirify.net. I'm blanking on it, but they have a similar, hey, if they drew a line and said, if you use it going forward, you need to pay for this. It's rough, I get it. I totally get it. But there's ways to draw that line and say, okay, I'm stopping development on this version. I'm stopping development. It's open source. Other folks can contribute. But we're going to start building premium features on top of this that you get in Fluent Assertions.premium or whatever that might be. I get it. And you're now being paid to do it. So it should give you a little bit more room to do those premium features. Fuel Snable says they want to be compensated for their work, and it is fair to want to be compensated. Totally fair. But when you start out with something that's open source and you change it mid-track like that, without any warning, it's hard for folks to be sympathetic to you. But if you give a clear break and say, we're going to fork this, and this version is getting premium features and it's going over here. Anybody could have done that in the case of Dennis and Fluent Assertions, for 15 years. And more power to Dennis. He's been a tremendous asset to our .NET community. Totally get it. I think it's a little bit clumsy the way that the branch happened here. So, and I get why people are upset, because it was a little bit clumsy the way the branch happened. So, you hope they reached out to all 222 contributors before they switched license? Well, that's something that their legal does need to talk about. Yes, Fuel Snable. Because when you do change license like that, what happens to all those contributors' code? They were contributing under a different license. Now what? Mr. Connor says, I think it's funny that third-party package developers are complaining about Microsoft making their packages defunct by implementing their library functionality as part of standard.NET. Now third-party packages are charging absurd prices. So, I think it is... I'm not going to say absurd prices. I'm not going to quite agree with that phrasing, but I will say that the price for JetBrains Rider the monthly price for JetBrains Rider, so the full editor to use. That's the yearly. If I go to monthly billing, the monthly price for Rider is $41, $42. The annual price for Rider is $419. WebStorm is $160, looking at JetBrains' website. These are full editors, not just a little library that helps you write format tests. I'll agree with you that their pricing doesn't seem to be entirely in line with other products. So I wish them well. I hope they succeed. I hope they take some time and reevaluate what they did with version 8 of the open source library and create a clean break so that maybe you have exceed.fluent assertions and that contains premium features. Dropping a line and saying, okay, you were looking forward to version 8. Well, you can't have version 8 now unless you pay me $130 a month is a little hostile towards your developer community that you've had such goodwill with for 15 years. That's all. So, but there are always going to be package developers that are not happy when features are elevated into the libraries and features that Microsoft ships. Mr. Connor, what's interesting and what I think is the converse of the package developers that are not happy about Microsoft including features is what we saw happen with NSWAG and Swashbuckle. For almost 5 years, Microsoft shipped references, templates, and included those libraries in ASP.NET Core. It's in the documentation. It promoted the heck out of those libraries, and they were maintained by third parties. Those third parties had a hard time with additional features and the movement of the technology that they were trying to deliver and keeping up with the new standards. Microsoft is a business and needs to deliver features that are current with the latest standards. So they brought the feature in-house. Now you can still use those other libraries, but they needed to bring the feature in-house because the library author didn't keep up. So we've got two sides to this. And it's, unfortunately, folks aren't going to be happy regardless of the decision that's made. All we can do really is try and soften the blow. How you doing there, Dr. Cox? Good to see you. Can they do that? Can they do what? The NuGet package Blazor browser extension. I'm not familiar with that. Oh my gosh. Moe's. Let me... Where did it go? Back to NuGet. Blazor browser extension. I hadn't tried that. By Ming-Yaw Lee. Okay. You now easily build browser extensions with Blazor. And the documentation site is built with Blazor. Nice. That's great. I hadn't tried that, but I can totally understand why you'd enjoy that. That looks like a really nice library. So, thank you. I appreciate learning more about that. I'm going to put that on my list of packages and libraries to learn more about. Thank you for sharing. Let's see. Fuel Snable says you can fork version 7 of Fluent Assertions if you don't like it as Apache v2. Yeah. So, Fluent Assertions. Dr. Cox says it's fine that Dennis wants to get something. Yes. The price tag, yeah, I do think it's a little bit high. It's not, I was just looking at the Rider site. It's not more than you pay for Rider. It is Thursday already. How you doing there, Smirking Squiggly? It has some unique things like be equivalent that are not straightforward to write, but yes, mostly convenience. The testing for equivalence, particularly of collections, is something that's built into XUnit natively. Claims it was long planned and thought out. This is where folks like the .NET Foundation can help with those types of transitions. So, Mock did do it worse. Yes. So, another interesting thing, Image Sharp, that's the one I was thinking of. If you consume it transitively, you can use the free license, but I need to increase the Image Sharp version. Yeah. It is a dev tool that no end user will ever directly benefit from. Yes, agreed. And that's a thing. There were sponsors, but a couple of them ditched the sponsorship now. Well, of course, because now he's now commercial. So he does deserve compensation. He does. No argument there at all. If you build and maintain a library that's used by hundreds of millions of folks, and you've been maintaining it for 15 years, you do deserve compensation. There are ways to do that without completely changing your license and making the entire thing commercial. Aaron Stannard does a fantastic job of that with I forget the name of his product. Akka.net does a tremendous job with Akka and building a business around Akka so that here it is, you can use it, it's free to use, there's great documentation, but he can help you implement and allow you access to, I think he has some premium features that he's built that are in side libraries that you can take a look at and get involved with and use. He's done a tremendous job with that, and I have much respect for Aaron Stannard and the work that he's done with PetaBridge, his company, to build and define Akka.net. It's a tremendous success story that he has there, and I'm very happy for his success. So, yeah, NuGet doesn't like to be mentioned. For some reason, even though I mark it as accepted, Twitch rejects it all the time because of a Spanish reference. Open source is a double-edged sword. And that's something that I'm trying to mitigate with SharpSite. And that's why you see this idea of a plugin manager here, where at some point we can have premium plugins that cost you $5 a month to use. Stuff like that. Right? Or, hey, we have a hosting service that'll run this for you, and it costs you $10 a month. You can download and run it if you'd like, but you know what? I've got a hosting service over here that'll do it all for you, and you don't have to do a thing. Stuff like that that becomes add-ons that we don't have to release publicly with open source, and we can make premium capabilities. That's where I think if SharpSite becomes something significant, that's someplace where we can monetize. Changing midway is what bothers you once you start free and open source. Yes. And you're seeing, like with SharpSite, the core and the base open source. No problem. The trick and what everybody in open source runs into is that folks will demand and request requirements and submit requirements and feature requests, and nobody steps up to help. You'll have businesses that say, hey, it'd be really great if I had this feature. Well, okay, that's not on my roadmap. I'd be happy to build it for you if you'd compensate me for it, because it's not on my current roadmap. It's outside the scope here. Hey, Junie Von Ash.
Junie_Von_S just resubscribed.
Thank you
For
so
47 months.
Thank
You
you,
can add
friend.
it if you want to. You can use a host service behind cores. If you do code and try to code well, then you're a coder of Fritz. Safety code dance. D.
Now you're getting carried away. So I think there's options here, but wasn't handled well. I can do without any unit testing package. The package manager a little bit different. Totally agree. Skia Sharp's another one. But yeah, Image Sharp is one I was thinking of. It's just too expensive and it's horrible timing as T-Unit is heating up and has Fluent syntax built in. That's great. I'm not familiar with T-Unit. Can he just require payment if used commercially? So that's something that Image Sharp did. The challenge is folks are going to blow you off and say, I'm just going to use it anyway. What are you going to do? Come investigate and find me? Well, that's why Mock went and started adding some extra code that checked how you were using Mock. And quite frankly, it was performing malware-like tasks in investigating and exploring your repository you were using Mock in. So how do you enforce it if it's being used commercially is the challenge. So, Mock is still being used, or is the standard X unit? Well, Mock is a sidecar to those unit testing things. It helps to improve how you write your unit tests. And substitute now. There you go. Yep, they've moved over. Yeah, there's the link. Thank you, Kodo Melon. Appreciate it. 10 million downloads last week for Mock. Yeah, it gets used a lot. And because it's used in folks' unit test scripts, continuous integration will download and install it every time. So those installs go up quickly. JetBrains Rider org prices. No one pays this. Okay. Hey, good morning, Kevin, over there on YouTube. Welcome. Yeah, more .NET drama. That's right, one killer bit. And look, it happens in all the tech stacks. There's always going to be folks that make decisions and do things that the communities don't agree with. And for us as a community to evaluate, comment, and learn from, I think is a healthy thing. Especially that last part. Learn from it. So. These things are not exclusive. Yeah, no, they're not exclusive to .NET. No, not at all. I think that was a reference to Safety Dance that Judy typed there. And it was pretty good. One company you worked for had a roadmap for their product, and he would allow customers to pay to have new features implemented ahead of time, but that feature then got made available to all customers. Yes. If you would like me to do something for you before I have it scheduled and you're going to change my roadmap, you can pay me to change my roadmap. You are certainly welcome to do that. But otherwise, my roadmap is my roadmap. So, what is this? No. Okay. Is it possible to deploy a static web Blazor app to Azure using VS Code? Yes. Static web apps are set up to use GitHub Actions. So it doesn't matter what editor you use. If someone's providing support services to an open source product they work on, then all power to them. Yes, that is the primary way that folks monetize open source projects. Hey, Penflinger. Penflinger asks, are Aspire custom commands a good way to do stuff like database migration or seeding data? So this is something I asked to David Fowler last night. So the custom commands that that are being referenced there by Penflinger. Let me bring up SharpSite, and I can start up the application so you can see what I'm referring to. Right, if you're not familiar with what custom commands are, because they're a fantastic feature in .NET Aspire. No doubt about that. No argument there. WordPress drama? No problem. Enter SharpSite. Yes, that's right. So, ads have started up. We've got ads running for the next 2 minutes. There's another way that folks monetize. Insert ads. Like, marketing folks love to pay for ads. So, and I have a little bit of a voice. Marketing folks love to pay for me to create ads and promotional videos and promotional audio for them. So, other ways to monetize. People need to get paid at some point. Unfortunately, that's how we put food on the table. So, you want to have a family? Like, I see these people who talk about, gosh, I can be a software developer in the Valley and get paid $100,000 a year, and I'll have $1 million in 5 years. Like, where are you living? How are you paying for food? How about clothes? You driving somewhere? How are you paying for that Tesla? Like, I don't think you understand how this thing works. You going to ride the bus everywhere? Fantastic. Let me tell you, in 5 years, you're not going to like riding the bus everywhere. You going to have a social life? Going to go out to dinner at some point? Go to a bar, have some nightlife, establish a relationship with someone, go out with friends? I ain't going to pay for that. You aren't going to have $1 million in 5 years. Give me a break. You'll have $1 million in 5 years if the company sells and you end up being a stock option millionaire. So, yeah, the bus is too expensive. Walk everywhere. That's what folks are now doing more and more of in New York City, downtown Manhattan. There's Junie confirms it's a reference to the safety dance. See, I got it. Got it. I'm going to give just a few more seconds there for the ads to wrap up and end. The ad banner disappeared here. I don't know if it actually ended. I think I can assume that the ads ended. So the question and what I discussed, what I was asking about, and Penflinger's referencing right here about custom commands in .NET Aspire. Let me show you. I'm going to go over to the dashboard here, and we can talk about this. So, excuse me. So when you're running .NET Aspire, you get the cool dashboard that has all the different things about the various applications that are running as part of your .NET Aspire system, right? So I have a database, I have a Postgres admin container running that allows me to administer that database, take a peek at what's going on in there. There's the actual database instance that's running on that database server. And then I have database migrations that run here as a separate service. They run and they end, right? See, it says finished. But we also have the ability to start and stop, and these are standard commands that come with each one of these items that we ship in .NET Aspire, right? You add in a service, well, you can start and stop. I can, right? There's my application running, and I can click in, and there's the application. But I can actually stop that application by clicking the stop button. And it's stopped now, and it's not answering over there. And if I go over to the website, this is a static page. It's not going to respond now. But if I restart it, it's going to start back up, and this refresh is actually going to connect, and we'll be live running on the site again, and I can click through, and things work. So, okay. But there's also an opportunity to have custom commands. So when we click on the three dots over here, right, we have details, console logs, traces, metrics. We can get into all the things about that service directly. And there's also an initial command here of restart. So I can just, hey, restart that website, restart that microservice, right, that's sitting out there. But you can add extra commands to that, and those are those extra commands that appear after restart are called custom commands. And it's a really cool way for you to add other capabilities here. And the suggestion and the discussion that David Fowler, the architect for .NET, that he wrote last night was that there's some really cool things you can do with this, and database migration was one of those. And what I hold as a concern, as a question, is that these extra custom commands that you can put at the bottom here only run here in the dashboard. I can't trigger those during my deployment process. Somewhere in my production space, there's nowhere on my production deployment that I can click a button and run one of those custom commands. It's not an issue so much as it's good for development only. And when I think about spending my time on development tasks, I want to spend my time on development tasks that impact production. So running those migrations, I need to have them run somewhere. I need to have them put them somewhere so that they can run. I could certainly have them hanging off of the website and just click and be able to say, run the database migrations, or reset the database and do database seeding. You're right, Penflinger. Seeding database is another great option in there. I don't see them as a full replacement to my database migration app yet. We're only on version 2 of .NET Aspire. I think there's some great things that they can do with this to make that more usable in the deployment process, so that, right, think about it. If I'm adding custom commands here to do things like clear and seed data and migrate my database during my deployment process, I'd like to be able to run some of those. That'd be really cool if I could run those during the deployment process. I think about other things that I might want to run during the deployment process besides migrating database. Maybe there's files that I need to migrate, and I want to gracefully start and stop and move those into appropriate locations while that deployment is going on. I think these types of interactions with the service, if they could be exposed somewhere along the way, makes that custom command very, very valuable. Otherwise, do I want to run that command here in the dashboard? Or I could run it like I've done for a very long time as a bash script or as a PowerShell script and just run it at the command line. There's options. There's always options. I like the custom command and what it can do. I'd like to see more investment in exposing that capability in more places. So that's my question. One of your friends refuses to use Azure as he doesn't pay for services. Told him there are free plans, but he still refuses. Then get left behind. Go ahead. Get left behind. If you want to host an application somewhere and you don't want to pay to have your application hosted or pay to have a domain name, get left behind. Go ahead and build and run things locally. That's fine. But you're going to run into an issue where you're going to need to pay for services at some point. Mohammed chimes in here and says, the dream is to make enough money to buy that farm and start farming. Mohammed, you are spot on. Yes. Right? The dream is that your tech investment, the time you spend in tech, pays for the real thing you want to do. You want to buy and run a farm. You want to run a horse ranch. You want to do... You want to ride around in a motorhome and tour the continent. Fantastic. Go for it. Those are amazing, wonderful things. That's the dream. How do we get there? How do we use tech to fuel that? Muhammad, I'm well in agreement with you. Farming is a little bit of a hobby here. But hey, another very cool thing says NS Linter. How you doing, Mars? NS Linter says it is actually a Docker image you can use directly without Aspire. All of these are. You don't need Aspire. You can certainly run Docker Compose. Yes. But if I suggest to you that if you're looking at .NET Aspire as just Docker Compose, you're missing 4 other major features that make your life easier. You're completely missing it. There was somebody who was saying, hey, I really like building with Go, and I'm going to build an Angular front end to go with the Go application I'm building, and I'm thinking about using .NET Aspire to host it. And somebody came back and said, don't use that .NET junk, use Docker Compose. You're completely missing all of those things on the left side. The ability to peek in and monitor and see exactly what's going in on all the little services that you've built. The ability to get structured logging so you can see what's going on and search and find where those errors are. Hey, I don't have any errors. The ability to get traces so that you can see front to back exactly what's going on. Hey, there was a request, it went out to the database, it got some stuff, and I can even dig into there and see exactly what those queries were that were executed. As a developer, this type of distributed logging is phenomenal. And you can carry it through to your production space and still use Prometheus and Grafana and get the metrics so that you still have that Grafana dashboard you can export to it. But you know what? You don't need it when you first start off, and it'll wire up to all the things automatically that you're already doing with OpenTelemetry, and it'll put it on the dashboard so that you can see it. Right? I can see exactly, there's the command duration, how long it took to run the things that it was executing with. I want to code too. Building the logging and monitoring here. Building the service discovery. The resiliency that the .NET libraries get when you bring in .NET Aspire. The ability to have a single entry point. Hey, just start .NET Aspire, and I get my dashboard and I can jump in and see my application. But then .NET Aspire can also host your testing engines as well, so that you can run Playwright or whatever unit tests when your application is fully started. Tremendous. Tremendous. It's not just Docker Compose. So, really great stuff. And they are Docker images, and it enables the Aspire interactions. You're totally right, NS Linter. But don't forget, it does these other really important things that, quite frankly, most of us don't want to build until you need it and it's a problem that you don't have it. And the fact that the logging is there from the get-go, fantastic. You only recently discovered that you can use C# for web stuff. Slateboard, really? Oh, yeah. Azure can host not just C#, but can host many, many things for free. Yep. So, C# Titan asks, am I going to VS Live 2025? I don't have any of them on my agenda yet. Yeah, the folks at VS Live, at those events, some of the folks that run those events aren't fans of mine. But we might not. We'll see. Should probably upgrade to .NET 9 so you can do persistent Docker. Yes, NS Linter, you're right. I do use that here in SharpSite. Now, the source code for this is completely free. If I go over, let's go over to program for, app host. Right? So in my Postgres services, I've purposely made the syntax for my app host very tight so that I can add in features later with minimal changes. So inside here, when I specify, hey, add a Postgres database, right? I force a name on the database volume so it persists data to disk. But here, to exactly what NS Linter is saying there, and I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, your screen name right, with lifetime, this is quite valuable. Oh, we're taking a picture of the hat. Go for it. All right. This is quite valuable because it doesn't restart the database then each time. So if I restart the application here, right, it just knocked down the entire system and it's restarting it. But importantly, the database is still running. Say it's still running. It didn't stop it and restart it like it did the website. So the other thing, don't forget, NS Linter, is my website. I want it to get a reference to that database, and that this line here, I think, is the other side of persist that database. Wait for. Don't try and run the website yet until the database is available. When the database is available and the migration services are applied, then you can show the application. Actually, the migration service here, that waits for the database. So by waiting for the migration service to complete, that's waiting for the database, and I kind of get a transitive dependency clicking through there. Hey, Napalm Codes, hello, hello. Oh, I'm glad you like that slate board. Yeah. So, of course, free services on Azure, right? They're small. They're not always big things, but stuff like Cosmos DB. How many gigabytes do you get for free on Cosmos DB? Really great stuff. Hey, Joystick Nick is here. Too cool to hang out with jabronis. Archangel, thank you for joining us. That's our friend Joystick Nick. Yeah, he's another member of the PH16 stream team. Great to see you. Hang on. Can I show you something, friends? Hang on. I got to show you something. Hang on. So, yeah, there's the hat command. That went off. Took that picture. You saw it take a picture. Bounced that off of OpenAI. And this description was completely generated by artificial intelligence. No training. I didn't tell it a thing about this hat that I own. But it completely generated that. But I want to show you something else. Flyers. I do have a Kraken hat here. I don't have a King's hat. Let's see here. A little bit scared I would miss it in production. Azure's not an option. That's okay. I'm fine with the name. Okay. So the folks at AWS, if you're using AWS, they've built with their cloud development kit, with their CDK, extensions for .NET Aspire so that it will allow you to deploy to AWS.
Months.
Thank you for the subscription. 49 months. Man alive. Thank you so much for that support. Bringing that Prime sub. What are you going to say for me? I am not too cool. No. No change hat redemption anymore? No, the hat is right there. I don't have a t-shirt. No, the hat redemption, it's not a redemption. It's a command that anybody can run. And it helps teach a little bit about artificial intelligence. So I want to show you something. This is really cool. I got to make sure I open this properly. I got a box that was delivered the other night. Check this out. So here's the deal. Our friend Joystick Nick and his wife Ellie Face, they spent Monday night baking cookies on stream. Are you kidding me? Like, baking cookies on stream, great, you made something. That looks really tasty. They let you order what they were making on stream. I immediately had to put it in order because they actually offered gluten-free. Now, I need to be a gluten-free guy. I do have the allergy. I had to make sure that I eat gluten-free food. It arrived yesterday. These are amazing because here's the thing. They didn't make it with egg. They made it with banana. Look at this. Chocolate chip cookie made with banana. Oh my gosh. These are amazing. So very, very cool. Change hat. Oh, the change hat redemption. Is it there? It should be there. Give me a few minutes here. I'll put it back in there. Yeah, I'll go find that. So, very, very good. And you can taste the banana in it, but it's pretty good. No, you can't burn that. How you doing there, Jedi Maga Man? Great stuff. If they run a stream like this again, you gotta check it out. You gotta check it out. Tremendous. I had one or two last night. I knew I couldn't have any more because it's like, this is going to be a problem. Hey, there's LA Face. How you doing? Yes, cookie time indeed. Oh. So. What's this? What did you just join? Sorry. The peanut butter ones are twice as good. Peanut butter's my kryptonite. Did you know this? It's absolutely my kryptonite. Let me see here. Viewer rewards. Let me go take a look at the channel points. I might have turned off the hat change redemption because we were doing a planned stream the other day. Some of these voice mods are missing too. We'll put those in. Yeah, there's the hat change. Sure, I'll put that back in, and this one, that one, and yep. I don't think live share is really a thing anymore. Yeah. Excuse me. There we go. That should appear there. Do you think gluten-free Oreos are better than the original Oreos? Yes. Yes, they are. And not just, I'm not the only one that says that. Even my family that isn't gluten-free says that. Yes, I do accept cookies as payment. Gosh. Containers and Robert Tables appears. Did I? Where is he? No, Robert Tables isn't here. My secure gift, good morning to you. Yeah, I was. Are you kidding? Right there, look at that. I'm still working my way through this. I'm going to take my time. You would happily accept those? No. Like the initial estimated delivery time was a week, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, they'll arrive Monday. Monday's a holiday. That's fine. No, they arrived yesterday. Like, holy crow. But what was fun was watching the process of them baking and seeing how they were going through and putting together the cookies. They do a tremendous job on Monday nights Eastern time. Baking, cooking, and doing some fun things there on Ellie Face's channel. You got to check it out. So just like he does containers. Oh no, yeah. If I do mention containers too much, Robert Tables will appear. If you say his name, he appears. And that's the way it is. No, Robert Tables is more like Candyman. The glass kit did arrive, yes. And I was thinking about, I wasn't going to do that on stream, but I was thinking about doing that this weekend so that I would then have it on stream. So, yes. What was the other thing that I wanted to show? There was something else. For Christmas, I haven't shown this on stream. I might as well show this now because it's sitting here. I was given a glass to use on stream. It's not a glass. I was given a cup to use on stream. No. I was given a vessel that's too vague. I was given a chalice to use on stream. And when I saw this, I thought, did you rob a church? They said, and They sent me a chalice to use on stream. Literally, it's like a wine goblet. Like, there's a church somewhere that is missing. Like, that's a thing. That came over Christmas, and I wanted to. Yeah, it's the freaking. It's the holy grail of Fritz, is what that is right there. Like, what am I supposed to do with this? It doesn't even hold that much. Am I going to put coffee in this? No. Scotch? No, I don't know. We'll figure that out. And something else arrived, and I'll get to that. It belongs in a museum. Bourbon? Could be. I did see 2 stencil versions, and I wasn't sure about that. Might be fiddly? Okay. Holy water there. What does it smell like? Nothing in particular. And if that is somebody's, I'm happy to return it. But I'm like, okay. No, it's not the grail of a carpenter. No. Something else arrived that I do need to share with you. And it's kind of important. If you watched .NET Conf, you know that this was happening. It's a really big box. Can I turn on the keyboard cam? Yeah, there we go. Look, there's the rest of my cookie. I'll put this to the side for a second. This was kind of important that this happened, right? This is plenty heavy here. Espresso? No, it's not espresso. What are we working on today? We haven't gotten into it too far yet here, but we're going to get back over to SharpSight in a minute. This is, where is it? Yeah. Okay, making sure there's nothing here. So there's a nice little polishing cloth here. This is what they send us. Hello, Jens.
Jens was just resubscribed for 38 months. Just in time for unboxing.
Yeah,
Less than
little
3.
months. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support. This is my 10-year service award from Microsoft. So it's upside down. You can't really see it. Oh my gosh, it's heavy crystal. But right, it's hard to read there. But it says Jeffrey T. Fritz, November 2024. And they give you crystals, a crystal trophy for every 5 years. Oh no, it absolutely is upside down. It totally is. And it comes in this bright velvet cloth here, but this thing is massive. There it goes. So it's got this green stripe in the middle of it. And it displays like that. Fancy. If it was sitting on someone's desk at an office, it's kind of impressive looking. You're looking down on it. I'm flattered. I am still amazed that I work for Microsoft and it's been 10 years, but there is recognition of my 10 years of service to Microsoft, and there's an even bigger one when you hit 15 years. I'm nowhere near there yet, of course, but some of my colleagues are actually close to that. There's an even bigger trophy for that. Like they literally have to deliver it on a cart. It's massive. This is heavy as is. So, big thanks to my colleagues, the folks at Microsoft, for that recognition. So, At Blizzard, they give folks like a shield and a sword, and then there's a ring. It's very medieval stuff. So that'll go on my trophy shelf over there with a bunch of other things. Thank you, friends. I appreciate the kind words. Thank you. I see all the congratulations there. Your 10-year MVP award was similar and insanely large, and could kill a T-Rex. So wire up some LEDs. That's not a bad idea. Looks like a prop from the first Superman movie. I thought that too. You're not wrong. The little crystal things they had. What feature are we implementing now? I'm still catching up and getting things started here. Yeah, check out that chunk of glowing radical rock. What is this? Global guts? Come on now. A piece of the aggro crag. There it is. How long has Hanselman been at Microsoft? I think he's 15 this year. Or he's 14. Scott's been at the company like 3 or 4 years longer than I have. So, yeah. Time to go work for Blizzard now? Yeah, Sword and Shield are really cool. So, let me head back over. Yeah, him, Scott. So, and I've shared with Nick and with LA Face. They've helped me with feedback and ideas on stream design stuff. On the side, I'm working on some significant ads are going on, so I don't mind sharing with you folks that are subscribers. I'm working on some significant upgrades to the bot and changes to the stream layout. Those are going to be coming in probably February, but they are significant updates that hopefully make things a little bit more fun, a little bit interesting, and allow us to do a couple more things that are going to be good. Ads are done. There we go. So yeah, significant stream upgrades, and quite frankly, we're gonna strip down a bunch of the background, the look and feel that you see here, simplify things a little bit with that, and we're also going to level up the bot significantly. Any updates on the visor? I haven't heard anything. We're halfway through January. And well, there's an announcement here in the announcements. An update to the application. I thought I just saw a message from the founder. Hundreds of messages since 1 a.m. Oh boy. The Xreal folks have been releasing new versions of their hardware. Thought I just saw a message from him. Excuse me. I don't see anything. I don't see any new messages about it, but the first deliveries are supposed to come in the next 2 weeks. And yeah, I don't. Come on now, show me something. Yeah, I don't see any updates. But they have been adding features to the software so that it can run standalone. And that's coming. New GPU arrives tomorrow? Oh, terrific. What type of GPU did you order, Nick? Your project is getting cuts because we've worked too fast. That's crap, Ninjaola. That is crap. The Xreal one looks nice if you're into gaming. The visor is, you can go to visor.com. I use an app called Immersed to work in virtual reality and bring up multiple extra screens when I'm working. I did a stream from within the software that this uses called Immersed that runs on a Meta Quest headset. My headset's actually right here. Right? One of these. But this is their dedicated device that is, quite frankly, it just looks like a pair of sunglasses. It's a little bit thicker because it's got the display behind it, so it still has that depth on it. And it has wires that wrap around the back. But it's they call it noise canceling for your eyes. So that you get from your laptop all this extra space to work in. Now, Meta has released an integration with Windows 11 that does a lot of
Gene
this.
80 just resubscribed for 62 months. Hello,
62
hello,
months.
Gene Vahai.
Hello. Thank you so much. Jean Valjean, that's coder 24601 to you. Welcome. Great to see you. Thank you for that support. So, I'm really into this. I pre-ordered one almost a year ago. And it's supposed to be delivered here in the next month or so. So, the first ones do ship this month. We should see something very soon. But the ability to take your laptop, and this is my big use case scenario. When I'm on the road having multiple displays, it is phenomenal on the Meta Quest. It's going to be even better on a dedicated device. But it is expensive. It is a premium piece of kit that you're getting here. So we tried to watch the launch event and something happened, and the tech vendors that are providing and building the hardware for this pulled back and said, we're not ready for the demo. But the demos that they've shown are really, really good. There's sensors on the bottom of it, and you can kind of see it underneath. There's sensors down here so we can see your hands. So that not only in front of your eyes, but down here, underneath, it picks up and recognizes what you're doing. So I've pre-ordered one of these. If you're interested in getting one of these, it is an expensive device, but I do have a code that'll help you save a couple bucks. Helps me save a couple bucks also. So we're going to take a look at some things around SharpSight and get into this. You're getting a 4080. Nice. Nice, Nick. It's going to keep your studio nice and toasty. Recently, you updated your .NET Aspire from 8 to 9, and everything broke. Everything broke? Oh no! What happened? When you created some resources on Azure, they stopped working and getting error templates errors. The templates did change significantly. They did. I very stepwise went into and accepted and managed appropriately how those things rolled out. Nice. Can't wait to get your visor. It's going to cost a fortune, but don't care. Yeah, I feel the same way. It's going to be tremendous. Take it into the office and use it there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You already have that many screens though? So, right, that's the thing. When you're on the road, you can't carry all your screens. Like I primarily use two screens here. I have my 43-inch widescreen, and I've got a 50-inch television above me that I use when I'm at my standing set. Well, I want more, but I don't want to have all these extra displays and everything's plugged in. So I bring them in with the VR, and it's really cool. Can you plug it into the USB port in your car? You can for power. Yes. Did I see any of the drama surrounding pirate software and WoW? Yes, I did. DGen1 mentioning, I think it scrolled off the top here. Yeah, right here. I did, and he got wrapped up in a couple different drama things all at once. The drama around the World of Warcraft incident that occurred, right? They're playing on a hardcore server. There was a group that was out on a raid. Something happened, and he accidentally pulled too many enemies and the boss turned and started attacking, and the party wasn't ready for it. So the party leader gave the command to run, and he ran. Folks got upset about the fact that he made that mistake, and because he's got a large audience, there were lots of folks that were teeing off and flaming and being bad actors, and it quite frankly was unacceptable interactions that were happening both in WoW, on Discord, on stream, and the other streamers that were in the raid party, their audiences started going off on him. Not cool the whole way around. Like, people make mistakes. And there were people that were even challenging him to a fight. Like, I'm going to fight you for content. Like, what? Uncalled for. I think he's better off not in that group and doing his own thing. I think he's way better off doing that at this point. Connecting and working with folks like Soda Poppin' at Pirate Software's growth, not needed. The other thing that folks are upset at him about is that he went on Asmongold's stream. Asmongold was complaining about a game that Pirate Software has been playing on stream and having a tremendous time enjoying. And Asmongold went off about the game developer and the game. As another game developer and somebody who's been enjoying the game, I applaud Pirate Software for trying to set him right. Hey, you're beaten up, you're complaining about folks that I have a good relationship with that have built a game that I really enjoy. I'm going to set you right. People are upset that he engaged with Asmongold. Oh, you shouldn't talk to this guy. You're giving him a platform. Asmongold has a bigger audience than Pirate Software. So he's not giving him a platform. If folks are talking badly about a product that I work on, a product that my friends work on, a product that I enjoy, I'm going to try and set them right. Doesn't matter to me who you are or what you do. I'm going to try and set you right. Did he go too far in that engagement? I don't think so. You're rethinking your policy of the cost of kit when it comes to developer setup, chairs, keyboards, desks. I think it did go through. Thank you, Surly Dev. I really appreciate that. I think for us as developers, when you've been doing and working in this space for a while, having professional grade gear, higher end gear, I think is not just acceptable, but you're going to benefit from. So, you probably order the visor. Yeah. After it comes, I get it. Totally get it. Very curious what my experience with it'll be. Tried using the virtual screen with the Apple Vision Pro, which works well. There's room for improvement. The Vision Pro is way out of line on its price. It's more expensive than an entire computer. Way more expensive. Got to reel that in, and then we can talk. The visor is not quite the same price as the Vision Pro, but it's up there. Can you wear a visor in VR, though? Oh. What's the cost? It's a couple $100 if you want to join the pre-sale for the regular version that's going to be arriving in the summer. It's a couple $100 more if you want to be one of the first people to get it in the Founders Edition. And then there's a subscription service for a couple months, for a year or two. Can't please everyone. Totally agree. Some people want to watch the world burn. Nice reference to Batman. Alfred, actually. I can't tell who uses it, but I can tell that it was used. You're waiting for me to try the visor? That's fair. Completely fair. And I very much respect that, because spending money like that on a pre-release device from an unproven vendor, quite valid concerns. Way on board with that. I gotta have more of this cookie. Banana. Let's head back over to the code. We're working on Sharp site. I just hit like a wedge of chocolate and brown butter. Ooh. Ooh. Let me come back. We set up this default plugin icon, and our friend Ocular Mouse volunteered to help out with this. And Lanky Scottish Nerd just went, "Hey, I don't want to step in over here. It's been a couple days. Let me just put something together real quick." And gave us a version that works, and I rolled it into the software. Ocular Malice, though, continued on and said, "Well, I've got some other versions. Here's a PNG and an SVG version, but I've also got the background. So if we want to use this hexagon icon for other things, that's available too." Fantastic. It really leans into having a set of, and creating a set of reusable icons. So, did I ever use the HoloLens? Nope. Nope. Was never able to get my hands on it. So this is great. I'm not going to lose this. I'm going to hang on to this. The other thing that we had hanging out there was we wanted to improve the look of the add plugin page. And if we head over to the running app, right? Yeah. Go to the actual app. Right, we haven't done much on design. But for site administration, for plugin management, when we go to add a new plugin and we choose one, it has this kind of ugly, jammed together look. And DGen 1 just added a little bit of bootstrap styling here so that the file chooser here looks a little bit nicer, and the layout of this is a little bit better, and added an alert box for the error message. So that's great. This is a good way for us to get a little bit of an update to the add plugin page. I think this was one of the issues that we wanted to address for the milestone we're trying to wrap up here, and we've purposely avoided doing anything user interface. So here, the add plugin page. This page could be made easier to read, and Waleed was going to work on this and never responded. But DGen 1 has this update for us that, chat, I think that's a good step up compared to this appearance with the look here. So I'm going to take I think we're gonna take DGen 1's update, merge that into the mix here. So big thanks for the work that was done on that. So let's take this and make sure it is merging into. So we have a feature branch that it's merging into. I'll add this to the 05. Milestone. Milestone tree. And we will squash and merge. And it fixes that. Confirm it. All right. And if I go to, where is it? This one? Create sub issue. That's a thing. Yep, I'm going to close this. And now for the milestone, we have one item left. Allow customization of the page not found content. And we're going to work through that and get that completed here. These, I'm not sure where I should put this. Like, I feel like I should copy them in somewhere. Maybe into images? Like create an icons folder here or something? Let me zoom in here a little bit. Is it Winier? I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Wondering in documentation you found code execution context is publish mode. Add Azure OpenAI. Yep. Did anyone know, is it now recommended way to create resources? In development, you're creating your own and use connection string. What you're seeing, right, in that, let me make sure I answer this question right here so that you can see it. What you're seeing is you can, right, publish mode is when you're creating the content in .NET Aspire that needs to go up to Azure or somewhere else. Somebody was asking earlier, and I didn't get to the question. Can you run deployment scripts locally for .NET Aspire? Yes, you can either use your existing scripts and stuff will just continue working. Or you can use something like Aspirate that will help you deploy to Kubernetes if you want to use all the container stuff. That'll work. But what Winier? I hope help me out with your screen name pronunciation there. I hope I've got that right. What they're doing there is when they're publishing, when they're going out and deploying to Azure, they're saying use an Azure OpenAI reference, and here's the name of that reference that I want to use. When they're running locally, they might be running something with Ollama locally. And you can actually do that and host with Ollama using the Aspire Community Toolkit. There's a resource that you can plug in there so that instead of saying add connection string and having all those things to run Ollama locally, you can run Ollama directly inside of a container, tell it which model to use, all from within .NET Aspire, so you can centralize that and once again give you that one entry point into running your source code locally. That's kind of important, and because what it does is it dramatically shortens that on-ramp for new folks to join into your project. They don't need to go and discover and install a bunch of things, and before they run the application, make sure you have the database running and this running and that running and blah, 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 blah. It's all built into .NET Aspire in that program CS, and it just runs. Is it the recommended way? No, it's not the recommended way, because there are other ways to build and reference that. It's not wrong, but I would opt to use something like the Ollama integration, if that's what's being used there, like the Ollama integration that's built into the .NET Aspire toolkit. Rippin' Chicken, welcome. Hello, that's a fun name. What are my thoughts on Microsoft's Power Platform or low-code development in general? Asks Leveling with PD. It's nice that it makes software development more accessible to the average computer user, the average power user. That's great. That those little data snacking apps that folks need to generate a graph, to look up and create a dashboard, it empowers those folks that were doing all that stuff in Microsoft Access or Microsoft Excel. That's nice. That's handy. They still at times need professional developers to build those APIs that return and expose that enterprise data that they want to work with. That's okay, because those folks can then iterate and build their dashboards and put together the data they need. They're the subject matter experts on those things. Let them iterate and build those things, and then I can focus on building, managing the website and data collection and analysis that happens on the production servers and systems, and let them do those little data integration things. So I think it's a great way to split up a bit of the software requirements and delivery. It enables more folks to be part of the process. And that's not a bad thing at all. So otherwise now I'm tweaking and building a dashboard that these folks might not actually use and might not surface their data correctly, where they can iterate it on it very quickly using tools and technologies that they understand using Power Platform. Just discovered me on a YouTube video. Well, thanks, Rippin' Chicken. How you doing there? You're applying to your first associate software engineering job today. Oh, good luck to you. Let us know how it goes, okay? We want to encourage folks that are viewers to be successful and get that first job. So when you come around to the interview process, happy to talk through and answer questions about that. The Nick pronunciation's okay. All right, I get it. So, yeah, let us know, Rippin' Chicken, how it goes. All right, let me head back over to the code. Let's dive in a little bit more here with SharpSite. This is an open source .NET application that we've been building on stream that is inspired. I think that's the right word. Inspired by some of the concepts around WordPress. And we've updated, I think we updated the... No, we have to... There's some updates coming to the README here that tells a little bit more about our purpose. It's an accessible content management system built with .NET 9 and Blazor that you are free to use. Features that are built and working, blah, 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 blah. Features that we would like to build. Future extensions we would like to support. We've identified 3 user personas, and we've got a number of folks in the community that have been helping out building. So, where was I? Right, 4 pull requests, the release train. This one, the page not found customization, is where I need to finish, and then we can move on. Finish that, and that'll get us the last bit of what I outlined as our 0.5 milestone. So let me head back over to my local code. That's fine. Let me open another console. Right? Yes, I'm on Windows, and I'm using Windows Terminal, and I've got PowerShell running here with Oh My Posh to let me format and make the user interface look pretty cool. Let me make sure I have the latest, all the things here. Yeah, delete a couple local branches. I can merge in those changes to the 0.5. Right, so there's the 0.5 branch, so our release train branch. Let me make sure I have the latest stuff there locally. Thank you. Jump back over to the other branch. I know the cool kids use git switch. I'm a checkout person, I'm sorry. And I'll merge in those updates. There we go. Not clar. But git push, so that's all running out on my repository, and now I can get back in and start working again, and I have all the updates to that 0.5 branch running here. We're trying to customize the page not found page. Page not found page. Yes, I said that right. Now this should have, can we hot reload and will it pick up and update this? Maybe? I don't think it will. I don't think it will. No. The page not found page. So, right, we have this idea of you can build and define page content over here, but if you try to navigate to a page that doesn't exist, right? We get page not found. And you can, this is kind of the default page not found that ships with this, right? We wanted to put together just a simple page not found. But we want to allow folks to customize it. So something to go into site admin and like maybe in site appearance here after theme selector, maybe there's a custom content for page not found that appears down here. And we can drop in our text editor and allow that to save a little bit of markdown content. And so far right now, our configuration for stuff like that is sitting in a JSON file on disk. It's sitting in a JSON file. And that might not be the best place for it long term here. So the serializer will handle that. We should be good. Ads are running for the next 2 minutes. I'm not going to get in too far here. Yeah, go ahead and restart. That'd be my guess. Duplicate resource name in the Italian resources. Oh no. Oh no. You're not committed to git switch? Au contraire, never heard of it? Learn something new. There you go, smirking squiggly. Yeah, the new kids use git switch. Is it better? No, I don't think so. I'm going to add under site appearance here. I'm going to add an entry. I'm going to put together a Blazor component that will do the the thing down here. Allow you to key in and configure the content that appears in the middle of page not found. That's why you missed it. There you go. So let's head over here. I don't need app host. Right? Don't need my abstractions. We're working down here in the website. We have a series of admin bits of content. And one of these is going to be the page not, so there's page not found, right? This is the component that actually shows up when you say page not found. But configuring this, close all the other stuff. Yeah. This is going to be fun. We're going to get a little bit intermediate here, and we're going to go. You were taught that switch is more limited, so you can't accidentally end up in a detached head situation. Oh, okay. All right, that makes sense. Let's add in here. I'm going to add a Razor component. Let me do it this way. Oh man, where's the compact view? There we go. Not in components. I don't want to be in there. I want to be in here. There we go. And let's call this configure page not found dot resor. So let's make this an H2. There we go. And we're going to need a resource for this. No. Configure, no, customize. Page not found contents. That was kind of, yeah. For the page not found. And that's going to need to be another resource, but that's okay because we can translate it, can't we, friends? I want to put this into application state, so we're going to need to inject application state. And yeah, app state's fine. Thank you, Copilot. That's nice and handy. So I need a text editor, right? Fortunately, we wrote a text editor. I don't think we want to bind directly to that content, but we probably want to have now you're getting cheeky. Private string. Yeah, page not found content. Don't mind if I do. And let's initialize that to string empty, because we can't initialize it to the content of what's been injected. Why don't you like this? I don't think I want bind value. I think I just want bind. Or, no, wait. Content. What? Yeah, content equals page not found content. All right. On parameter set. There we go. I don't want to do get setting. I think we need page not found content. I think we need that. And I should be able to, oh no, I should be able to control dot on that. I want to refactor. Fine. Application state, yes. So here's the application state. It knows how to save this out to a JSON file. And I'm going to add right in here. Yeah. Public string. No. Page not found content. Right? No. I want to default this to string empty. Okay. Here, when it's loading content, yeah, there we go. And yeah, I think that's okay. I think that's all I need. What if the page needs dynamic content like current date time? Not thinking about that yet. Not thinking about it. I think there's an opportunity to do something like provide a plugin that does have a defined page not found component that does do some Razor interaction like that. Maybe there is an opportunity at some point to write Razor syntax directly and parse and use that. I don't want to invent a templating language, but it's a fair question about wanting to be able to use dynamic content. But right now, being able to put together, I'm thinking the fail whale page, right? We remember the fail whale page? Right? Fail whale page. The fail whale. Oh, you're not going to let me look at this? There you go. Right? When Twitter was having an issue, when there was an error, they would put up this page. Hey, Twitter's over capacity, and there was no. It would look like this. So, the fail whale. Right, but it's just a static page that says, "Hey, we're doing a thing there." Fail whale is your .NET spirit animal. We should have a dinosaur game as a fail page. Yeah, there you go. There was right. That's what. Where is it somewhere on Google that does that? Okay, so that's going to load that. So this property now exists, so it'll load this, which will populate that over there. So, right, now I can also do, when that content changes, oh boy. So, I don't want to do anything with the content changes. Right? Do I have something specific on that? No, it just binds the content. So, yep. Okay. So that'll get updated, and then I can put a save button down here, right? Sure. Go ahead and create that, John. Make an async event handler. Don't mind if I do. Thank you. Thank you. Copy the page not found, contents of the app state, and save app state. All right, let's see what Copilot does for us here. Yes. Yes. And I think save is awaitable. Yep. We should await that, John. Why is control dot not working? Yep, await that. And now that doesn't work, and nope, control dot's not working there either. Ugh. There we go. And that's it. Like, that's all I think I need for this. So then I can go back to, right, it's in, like, site appearance. There's a theme selector. So now I can just do, right, I can just do configure page not found. Done. I think you're right. There is a sharp site save. Oh. Yep. There is a sharp site save. So let's just update that real quick. So instead of this, post that, save that over here into the site. And away we go. Site appearance. Customize page not found content. That's not right. What did I do? Having a preview window to see what actually gets rendered would be really cool. I show you. I got you. Looks like this probably should have been a... right, because is theme select an H3 in there? It is. All right, fine, I'll make that an H3. And that should update, thank you. But this still didn't turn into text editor. Why not? Why did you not work? Are we missing something? Is there something? Because that should have turned into the text editor there. Something not referenced and load properly? Oh, I don't like seeing console errors. No. No. Let's look over here, and it didn't show any errors, and there's no warning sitting here either. I'll restart the website. I know why. I know why. This needs a render mode. Interactive server. There it is. And there we go. Hey, wouldn't it be great if we had a preview window? I think that's a great idea. You went to the wrong page. Go away. And let's take that whole thing, and I think I can... Isn't there centering? I wanted to center this. I don't have a centering button. Right? No. I forget, what's the name of that text editor? Yeah, center through the rescue is what I'm going to end up doing here. Don't save. Not like that. But I can preview like that. Now I hit save. Hopefully it actually saves. Let's go somewhere else and come back. It's still there. It's still there. So, right, so Cool Pants, to exactly your point, I do have a hotkey, Control P, that folks can hit. That's not right. That's not right. That's not what we... No. Control P is preview? You stink. That's a terrible preview button. That's a terrible preview button. But now I can load that and put it over there. So, yeah, render mode. Gee, Blazer Puzzle has covered that a bunch, hasn't we? It's a pain in the neck to remember. So now I can go and, because I have content for page not found, we can do application state. Go ahead, oh, it's not going to suggest it. And what I can do up here is I can say, if string is null or empty, app state, page not found content. I think that's it. Oops. So if there is page not found, if there is not page not found content, write it. Otherwise, it's markdown. I need to convert the markdown to content. Hold on. Hold the phone. There it is right there. That's what I want. But this is going to be you here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. App state. Page not found content. Okay. Okay. So if we go to foo, the page requested is not available. it. Why didn't it use that? Is it? It should be on the error page also that it's referencing and using. Yeah. So title, the localized page not found, and oh, I have this backwards. Yep, there we go. Yeah, thank you, DOS A Team 2407. You're right. Yep, Billy Cool. Man, look at that. If only I paid more attention to chat. And back to home. Cool. And if I go back to site appearance, so there's that content. Let's see if there's. I thought there was an alignment button for this text editor that we're using. What's the text editor again? It is PSC text editor. Let's see if we can find something to help us out there. Blazor text editor. Yeah, that one. Take a look at the docs. Right, are there alignment buttons that we can use? It even has mermaid rendering. That's nice. Those are properties. Icons. Show me the icons, man. Man, show me the icons. There, toolbar icons. Heading, code, quote, link, image, table, side by side. This would be so much better if they stored all of this lookup material in the online browsing platform. You know what I'm saying? Oh, there's another dead horse that I'm flogging. Yes, it's in the online browsing platform. Why do you ask? Yes, the online browsing platform. You know, you've used it before. The online browsing platform. All of us standards people use the online browsing platform. We don't use this World Wide Web. No. We use the online browsing platform. We're too good for the World Wide Web. We invented our own place to place content, our own location to deposit content. We call it the online browsing platform. And then you will use it and you will like it. Oh, I'm terrible. I'm terrible and you do not like it. All right, where was I? So it doesn't look like they have an alignment button. So you'd have to code that by hand. I'm going to open that as a feature. Ooh, I wanted to place those. All right. Yeah, blank issue. Add optional alignment buttons to the text editor. I will label this as an enhancement. Not a bad first issue. Up for grabs. I want to dictate this. I'm trying to dictate. Why isn't Windows H opening the dictation jammer? Voice typing. Modern voice command feature to help you interact with your PC. Yes! Use Windows key H. Well, why is it even here then? What the heck just happened? Voice access, wake up. Voice access, wake up. It would be nice if there was a series of alignment buttons in the text editor. Period. These buttons should be able to be optionally turned on or turned off as a parameter on the text editor component. Yeah, all right. Yeah, WinH is no more. There we go. All right. If somebody wants to work on it, there it is. I'm not going to get lost on that, but all right. What do we have here? Select default microphone. Yeah, that's the right one. Filter profanity. Okay. Nice. Right. So you still have it? So I upgraded to 24H2. Yep, that's right. Computer. Ads just started. We got 2 minutes of ads for the folks that are not subscribing. But as subscribers, you get this exclusive bonus content. Okay. I think we're done then with the customization. It works, right? Let me make sure it saved it to disk. Come over here. We don't need everybody to be able to see what I've got out there on application state JSON. Open with Notepad. There it is. Page not found content. You went the wrong way. Go away. Just what I typed. All persisted and looks fine and dandy there. So I'm good with that. That works for me. Let's go commit and ship that, John. Know what I'm saying? Sharp site, web, components. And, yeah. Added admin component to save page not found customizations. So just push that up. Let's also check if I delete this content, right? And save. I do need to also create the resources to go with this. That's okay. We'll get that added. So I deleted that content, and if I go to foo, it went back to my default content. How can page not found be customized and localized? Right, so that might be anything beyond the default content might be something that you can further customize as a plugin, as an advanced feature. So yeah, right. We've got these 3 personas. The default is good enough for our intro level user. You can customize with some sample text and upload an image and put it in there if you want. Or upload and create a plugin that replaces it. So that you have 3 levels of flexibility, so that if you do need heavy flexibility, you can do that. Let's take a look. There was a thing in the build about duplicate resources in the Italian translation. This one. See what we get in the messages here. Because I'll clean up if there's something that's... There we go. Duplicate resource names, plugin management, installed plugins, and this is in the Italian. So we'll look for that real quick. Oh yeah, look, there's 2 of them. I don't know. Plugin management. Yeah. In the current project. Oh. Okay, that's the navigation menu, so it's not this one. It's that one. Okay. Where'd that error list go? Here. Installed plugins. There it is. That looks right. I'm going to pull that one out. No plugins installed. I'm going to remove this one. And add new plugin. Looks good on both sides. I'm going to remove the one that isn't marked as the AI translated. Let's rebuild. And we shouldn't get that message. Good. But we do need now 2 new blocks for customized page not found content and this. So let's add those two new resources and then go generate our other resources in the other languages we're currently supporting. So I'm going to go open the resource editor for, right, it's in English. It's going to be this. That's the neutral value. We'll call it customize page not found header. And we did have sharp site as a prefix to that. Header of the customize page not content editor component. That way it's descriptive and helps out the translator for that. So this I can then, right, I can do shared resource. It's not not about. No. All right, fine. I'll do it. Right, it's customize. Yeah, that one. There it is. And I'll add a little description for it. So there's the neutral value. Customize content. Customize page not found description. Description of the task available on the in the component that allows customization of the page not found content. I'm going to copy that into English. Save and bring that back into here. Shared resource, sharp site. It did jump right into that. I don't like the yeah, let's customize page not found header. Back over here. No, don't. There it is. Like that. There we go. Let's generate some resources, shall we? Sharp site web locale. Sharp translator. Shared resource en resx. Womp womp. What? What did I break? Womp womp indeed. There they are. It doesn't have the description. Mm-hmm. Nope. Now I've done it. Typo. Where's there a typo? Oop. $324. Oh. There we go. But what's it? Reflection-based serialization has been disabled. Oh. What? Oh. Have I tried turning it off and back on again? No. Let's open another tab. Head over to Sharp Translator. Cool. I set it up to publish as native AOT. However, the artificial intelligence interactions that are casting things are using dynamic resolution. You can't do that with native AOT. It uses reflection to go find the things. You can't do that with native AOT. Oops. The object that's coming back, I requested it. Yeah, there's a JSON block that comes back here, and it doesn't like that. I need to turn off native AOT here. Publish AOT. Yeah, you don't get to work here. Okay. Yeah. So now, unfortunately, I need to bring over the whole shebang. can't just bring over the exe. That's fine. We will work it out. Where to go? Sharp site web. Actually, wait a sec. There's an app settings JSON that goes with this. Yeah. It's pulling a user secret. That'll work because it's on my machine, but it won't work when we get to production anywhere else. We're going to need to clean that up a little bit, but I'm not worried about it right now. Head over to the other tab. Get back up to the top. We are going to, hopefully, say Sharp Translator, shared resource en resx. There it is. There we go. That works. Head back into Sharp Sites. Rerun this. We'll bring up the appearance page that the page not found content is on. We'll change languages. Make sure that it appears somewhat legit. And ship this, John. I feel pretty good about that. Right? You do what you want. Who are you, Cartman? All right, site appearance. There's the customized page not found content. And if we make that Bulgarian, it sure looks Bulgarian. I don't know what that is. Make it Spanish. Finnish? Can we have our Finnish folks help out? That needs to be changed, but the rest of this looks all right. French? Yeah. Swedish. There we go. Oh, that's Swahili. I'm sorry. I don't have Swedish here. That's Swahili. I thought I had. There's Portuguese. Didn't I have Swedish? I don't have Swedish. Australian. No. 177 about the language chooser. All right, let me come back. I don't have a smattering of it. I need to. Make a new component. I'll assign you. No, not myself. There we go. Yeah, I don't have anybody else assigned to the project as a contributor. We should probably do a little bit of that. And who was it? The lanky Scottish nerd. I think. Yeah, we got that. What was the other pull request we? That was DGen 1, and I think DGen 1 you're one of these. Yeah, there you are. Let's, you want me to put Swedish in here? We can put Swedish in. Let's show how Sharp Translator works. We'll add Swedish real quick. I feel all right with that. I need to stop the site. No. Now you're clicking all over the place like some rogue moron here. Add a new item, and we'll call this Shared Resource SE. Is that right? ResX. And we have to add the configuration to say that it's... Oh, is it SV? ISO code for Swedish. Yeah, SE, not SV. What's SV? ISO 2-character code Swedish. I think it's 646 is the standard. Yeah, SE. I was right. And I'll go generate. There it goes. Generating the Swedish. Then what's SE? Well, that's not it. And I just translated a whole bunch of stuff that shouldn't have been translated. And now that feels bad. I'm just going to delete you. Shared resource SV resx. Try that again. There we go. Hey, McNets, hello. All right. Run it. Yeah, what does the online browsing platform say? If only there was a way to search the online browsing platform. Starting the website. Site admin. There's Swedish. We got it right. And there it is down there. And we've instantly got all the translations. What do you think? Where are my Swedish speaking friends? What do you think? Are we on track? Are we on board? Looks good, says Fuel Snable. All right, all right. As a Swede, McFlurry approves. Cool. Thank you. All right. But it's time to ship it. Sharp site, web, locales. Shared resource SV. Provided translations and added Swedish support. There we go. That's so good. McNett says, fantastic session the other day. Thank you. We had a great time with that. Yeah, change theme. We don't have a we don't have a translation on that button. We could do that real quick. Right there. We could do that real quick. Sharp site, change theme. Text of the button used to change the theme of the website. See, what's annoying with this user interface? That's saved in saved right there. I'll copy it into the English version, and then we'll generate the translation. You, I don't want you. Go into the web, go into locales. No, up one. I had it right. There we go. Thought I already had those. Another page. Another page is actually the text title of that page. That's actually something someone keyed in. That's not right now. That's not going to get localized. I said bottom instead of button. Oh no. Oh no. I don't think that's going to be an issue. Rats. What was that? Why does it say there's nothing in there? It's there. Try it again. I thought I fixed that already on... Yeah, I thought I fixed this. Like, no. But Hey there.
A Benite.
Thank you so much for the sub. Really appreciate the support of the channel. Did it? That's a thing. That's a thing the resource editor puts in there that for some reason breaks resource resolution. There it is again, this assembly alias. Yep. Can I set it as the default? I gotta go through and do all of these. Where was I? And at some point, we're going to need to figure out how to do right to left. Because there are other languages that when the request comes through to support their translations, we're going to need to do some right to left formatting. Yeah, the data's all here. I don't think we can hot reload resources like that. Maybe. No, we got to get this right. Like, if we're pushing updates into this, let's get it right. Right, site appearance, this is the one we're fixing. German? Nope, still didn't pick up change theme. I know why it didn't pick up change theme. Do you know why it didn't pick up change theme? Because somebody forgot to tell it. to use the resource. There it goes. I don't know why it is. I don't know. All right. Updated. Fixed. Updated translations for the change theme button. Done. Yep. We're going to wrap this up, mark it, ship it. That's right. We can use it without localizer now if we don't want to. Yep. It is running a build to make sure that that works. There it is, running the build right now. There you go. Post setup. Good. Squash and merge that, John. Now, here's the release train. And it has single commits for each of the pull requests for each of the tasks that we included in on this. So here it is, building and verifying. Right now, the next one, yes, we're going to start to introduce some unit tests and some playwright tests, which means we're going to move some things around in the structure of the solution. Which is going to end up being a good thing. So this... Come on, don't give me a green. There we go. And we're going to end up adding more checks in here to make sure that everything works. But co-authored by, there's all of our co-authors. Before we do that, let's update the text here. And let Copilot generate a little summary. You're working on the drop-down for the languages? Actually, Mythin, Ocular Malice is building a component for that. They asked for the issue to be assigned to them. So I'm going to remove that information. I'll leave the dependency updates because that's important. Project structure reorganization, I'll leave that. That's fine. Contributor recognition, I'm fine with that also. That's great. And I'll squash and merge. There we go. And I'll delete the V05. All right, we've got a couple items here. I'm going to add a tag. Right, can I do a tag here? No. I'm going to jump over to the main branch. Why does it say there are 8? Git pull upstream main. Okay. I'm going to clean up some of those other branches. I don't need the test AI translate because I've got that working. I don't need feature page not found because that's now merged. And I don't need V05. I can pull. There we go. I'm going to check out and track, and I added instructions for this, I thought. Upstream V06, which is the next milestone we're going to work on. Jump back over to the main branch. I'm going to drop a tag. V05. There it is. And now there's the V05 that has the current version we just did. It aborted after the upstream main pull. Come on now. Really? Oh, I'm in the wrong branch, that's why. Packages, lock. Packages lock. Sharp site, plugins, packages lock. There it is. Thank you. Which means this version that's here, this is a bad version. There we go. And the tag is now back up here. Good. And it's on 38 Echo Foxtrot. That's not this release. Yeah, no, that's it. That's it. Yep. Cool. All right. The 901 packages are released. Some work to update them in the solution. Let's add that as a chore. Update to the 901 .NET packages. We'll put that on the 06 milestone. The other milestone is still out there. We need to close it. That's not it. That's it. Cool. Number of items here to do. Not gonna lie, it's gonna be a little bit of work. That's okay. This is an administration ops thing. It is a chore. The other chore down here, let's label that. And we're going to start to roll in tests. Add some foundation tests. That's the big part of this next bit is where this milestone is going to, well, is going to help with some of the customization and get us into a place where we've got reliable tests. It's a perfect time to start using Fluent Assertions. It's a bad idea. It's a bad idea. Shoot, I need to move that. All right, I do need to wrap up. I know it's a little bit earlier than my normal time, but this is where we're going to pick up next time, is starting work on the 06 milestone. And one of the first things that we need to do is emulate some of the build and test structure. Let's get everybody on board with moving things around a little bit. And the structure we're going to use looks like this, where we don't need build. GitHub is fine. We don't need Dev Center, but we're going to move things into Source. We're going to set up tests that has unit tests in it. We're going to set up end-to-end testing with some playwright tests. And we're going to configure our workflows so that it runs Aspire and runs playwright. And we're going to have we're not going to markdown lint. But we're going to update our validation. Well, that's Maui. We're going to update it so that it actually runs all the tests. Yeah, there it is. Run the test. That it's ignoring that one. Yep, there. Run tests. So we're going to start dialing that up. We are going to do playwright with C# or TypeScript. I don't know. TypeScript feels a little bit more reliable for this, and I'm okay with that. But we're going to dive into that and get it set up and get it into our process, because we've now reached a point we are 2.5 months into developing. We've got more folks that are contributing, and we should start to establish a little bit of a base that these things work. Let's not modify. Let's ensure things continue to grow and enhance and improve the project. You love the content, says, is it Mr. Rappick over on YouTube? Thank you. Glad you're enjoying it. I hope you get a chance to grab the SharpSite source code, take a look, tell us what we're doing right, tell us what we're doing wrong. Check out the Discord. There's folks hanging out over there that are talking about some of the things that we're working on over here. Folks are commenting on the issues in the SharpSite repository. You can go there. And I think one of the things we can start talking about here, you can go there with the sharpsite.org link. If you click that link, it'll jump right over to the repository. The GitHub repository? Maybe? Or is it... It wasn't sharpsite.net. I don't think that was it. No. Yeah, why? I don't know why it's not working. Sharpsite.net is someone else. It just spins. That's annoying. For some reason the wildcard redirect with Namecheap doesn't go there all the time. Like it's almost like it has to reload. Go ahead, try it. Yeah, try that link again to sharpsite.org, and it should jump you through to the GitHub site. We'll get this set up so that sharpsite.org is a real site. There's a SharpSite official. Are you kidding? Where? They have cool knives. Oh no. This can't be good. And Mythin is suggesting we're getting close to a point where we're going to want to turn SharpSite from a single repository into an organization, particularly as more plugins come online and we start looking at building and assembling plugins and features, and we want things to be packages, like the abstractions that folks can install. We're getting to that point. I'd like to hold off for at least another milestone before we get there, because we're going to end up with the website needing to submodule some of these top level plugins that we're going to want to always use, to start at least. And that's going to get a little dicey. Maybe? Like, I think there's a series of default plugins that we're going to ship with SharpSite. And maybe those start as... Maybe those are out there and are hosted as... Yeah, first party. That's a... Yeah. Yeah. So... All right, I think we're at a great spot. We finished our 0.5 milestone. We've got some great configuration options are available now in SharpSite. Stop the music and let's go to the wrap-up music here. Come on now, man. What are you doing? What are you doing? There we go. We finished our 0.5 milestone. Big features in this release include the introduction of the file system plugin, so that now you can upload files. It is still a naive implementation, where it takes whatever the file name is that was uploaded and uses that as the name of the file that it saves to disk. It also doesn't check for collisions in file names, so you can actually overwrite files. Concept minimum viable phase, and those are things that I want to make sure that I leave out there as easier tasks that somebody who wants to learn and wants to contribute can pick up and add to the project and get a little bit of a good feeling that they made a contribution. We can now upload and set upload files, and that means we can embed images in our blog posts on our pages. We added translations for Swedish. We added the ability to customize the page not found page. It returns a 404, but you can customize the content that appears in there. We're getting ready for our 0.6 milestone. That's going to be the next collection of features that we're going to build together, and one of the first things we're going to do is reorganize our file structure a little bit so we can start to introduce tests, both unit tests and playwright tests. And then we're going to add in a little bit more customization capabilities, some bug fixes, some cleanup tasks, and continue to move things along and grow this. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Ocular Malice says, as their New Year's resolution, they're committing to contribute to 12 open source projects, and we're the first. Thank you so much. That's so kind. Have a great rest of your day, wherever you might be. Have a good dinner there, Smirking Squiggly. Let me take a look and see who's streaming on the big Twitch TV network. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much. There's lots of great videos for you over here and down here that you can check out. Let me get you rated into somebody else who's doing something cool out here. Maybe they're writing some code, doing something fun. I'm going to raid you over to Adam Learns Live, who's playtesting and preparing for some development tomorrow. Thank you so much for tuning in. Here we go. Over to Adam Learns Live. Have a great rest of your day, wherever you might be. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll do a little bit more coding in the morning and start down this path of reorganizing the project. All right? Have a fantastic day. And until I see you tomorrow, I wish you good health and good coding. Take care.